Namaskar. I am Anubha Sharma, student of MTech, Department of Software Engineering, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Allahabad. I am going to present my paper titled A Complete Survey on Software Architecture, Styles and Pattern. The outline of this presentation will be these are. Now moving towards the first point, that is abstract of this paper. SDLC, that is Software Development Lifecycle, is responsible for software's reliability, performance, scalability, functionality, maintainability, that is for various quality attributes. Although all phases of SDLC have their own importance, but software architecture serves as the foundation for other phases of SDLC. There are various styles available for software architecture. In this paper, a clear picture of all the important software architectural styles are presented along with the recent advancement in software architecture and design phase. It could be helpful for a software developer to select an appropriate style according to his or her project's requirement. This paper also specifies the application area, advantages and disadvantages of various architectural styles. All the architectural styles are compared on the basis of various quality attributes. Now moving towards the next point, that is introduction. Planning of software architecture for any problem is initiated after completion of software requirement specification and just before the designing phase. That's why architecture phase is also known as early design step. Planning and developing software architecture for a system means representing the system with high level of abstraction. As software architecture is a step in SDLC which defines how to solve the problem of the customer such that solution contain all the functional and non-functional requirements of the customer. After preparing the architecture, it requires to be documented. For this, IEEE 1471 standard is available. Similarly, there are various architecture description languages which are based on Unified Modeling Language notation or box and line diagram or on some former architecture description language. Few examples of ADLs are given here. There are various key principles to software architecture which are given here, such as architecture of a software system should only explain how to achieve the requirements of the customer. It should not disclose any implementation detail. There are many key principles which are given here in this slide. Now moving towards the benefits of creating software architecture. The first benefit of creating software architecture is software architecture is the first step in the development which tells how to solve the problem. That is, it shows how to build the system, hence it can tell us about the behavior of the system prior to its actual implementation. Similarly, there are few benefits of creating software architecture given in this slide. Now, this table represents the various architecture style along with its application area. Now moving towards the description of various architectural style. The first architectural style is Blackboard architectural style. In this style, the main components are given here in the figure. Here we can see that Blackboard is a shared repository. It is used by several knowledge sources to solve the problem. Each knowledge source tries to solve the problem and writes its solution, parses solution or suggestion on the Blackboard. Simultaneously, all other knowledge sources either modify or extend the solution given by the previous knowledge source or writes in its own way how to solve the problem. Thus, knowledge sources work together to solve the problem. Control shell is used here to manage and coordinate the activities of knowledge source so that they cannot create any mess up which can deviate the project from its actual direction. Now, the next architectural style is client-server architecture. There are mainly three components. First one is client, that is, client process is the requester of the service of or information. Next component is server, which process the accepted request of the client and send the result to the client. The third component is medium of communication of client and server. It defines the path by which client and server communicate with each other. It could be internet, intranet, Bluetooth network, etc. Next architectural style is component-based architectural style. It is based on the concept of separation of concern. According to the principle of separation of concern, a system is divided into several partitions such that each partition deals with separate concern. That is, by using this style, divide the system into some logical or physical component with well-defined interfaces such that each component defines a specific functionality or information. Here a component could be information, data, functionality, resource, package, web services, etc. There are various types of components such as fully or partially experience component, off-the-shelf component, and new component. Now moving towards the next architectural style, that's event-driven architecture. Event-driven architecture represents the system in terms of generation, processing, monitoring, termination of events which can occur in a system. Here the term event refers to change in state. Various sensing devices are used to detect the change in state of an object. Various components of this architectural style. First one is event generator. This layer is responsible for generation of event. Second one is event channel. It is needed to transfer the event from its source to the event consumer, that is event engine or sink. Event processing engine. This is the place where events are processed and appropriate responses are generated with respect to the event. Downstream event-driven architecture. Here consequences of the events are shown. Now the next architecture is pipe and filter software architecture. Here filter refers to processing element and pipes are used to connect the filters in such a way that the output of one filter acts as the input to the next filter. In between two filters there may be some intermediate elements which can act as the buffer to manage the flow of information. It is unidirectional software architecture. This type of architecture is used in Unix operating system. All the filters can run at the same time and can be distributed over different systems. The first filter will be connected to the source and the last filter will be connected to the sink. Pipe connection should be done properly so that output of one filter enter into the input of next filter, correct next filter. Independent filters can work simultaneously, but the filter which are getting input from the previous filters needs to wait to get the system. This architecture is used to speed up the processing since multiple processing is going on the same time in several filters. Next architectural style is layered architectural style. This style groups the responsibility of the software system into several loosely coupled layers. There are mainly three layers are there. First one is presentation layer. This layer incorporates user interface functionality. That is, through this layer user can interact with the system. Next one is business layer, which incorporates the business logic. The next one is infrastructure layer. This layer incorporates data services, networking services and other infrastructure services. In it, the best example of layered architecture is available in the OSI and TCP/IP model. In OSI's model services of the system, 7 layers are there, which is given here in the figure. Now, moving towards some new and complex system architecture, in which first one is cloud computing architecture. There are mainly 4 components, that is front-end platform, back-end platform, cloud-based delivery and network. Front-end platform includes a cloud client, which can be any software or hardware which is dependent on the cloud computing services. Cloud client could be browser, operating system, mobile phone, tablet and other devices. Backend platform includes the server and storage. Backend platform or cloud storage means storing data on internet or in cloud, which can be accessed by cloud client. Third component is cloud-based delivery. Cloud-based delivery means cloud services model which include various services such as software as a service, platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. Software as a service is also known as on-demand software. Here, cloud providers install and maintain various softwares in their cloud which are available for cloud client to execute their task. Similarly, we have platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. The next component is network. Cloud network means the medium with which cloud client can access the cloud and cloud providers. And cloud provider can provide the services to the cloud client. Now moving towards the next architecture, that is architecture for big data. Architecture for big data is Hadoop framework. The first component in it is HDFS, that is Hadoop Distributed File System. It is a file system which breaks the huge data into chunks and replicates the chunks 3 times for reliability purpose. The next component is MapReduce framework. MapReduce framework consists of parallel processing model to process huge amount of data. It is a programming model for data processing. It consists of 2 procedures, that is map and next one is reduce. Map. In map, input is submitted to the master node which divides the input into smaller chunks and distribute these chunk problems to several connected worker nodes. Each worker node can further divide the chunks till it becomes possible to solve, thus forms a hierarchy. And reduce function is applied in the parallel to each group. This reduce function merges and apply required operation on the group to produce 0 or 1 or more in output value. The last architecture style is grid computing architecture, which consists of various layers such as fabric layer, physical layer, logical layer, connectivity layer, resource layer, collective layer, and application layer. Description are given in the slide. Now come to the conclusion part of this paper. Here, various quality attributes such as complexity, reliability, scalability, functionality, efficiency, portability, usability, maintainability are given for various architectural style on the basis of 3 ratings, that is high, medium and low. This survey provides a complete picture of all the important architectural style with 3 modern and complex system architecture. All above discussed architectural styles are compared on the basis of quality attributes, that is complexity, reliability, functionality and etc. and given in the table. They are also compared on the basis of application areas. Since Blackboard architecture is mainly used in the field of artificial intelligence, it results in high complexity because artificial intelligence applications are difficult and devious to build. It is suitable architecture style for artificial intelligence application, that is OCR, text recognition and etc. Thus, the application area of Blackboard architectural style can be robotic system, speech recognition system, text recognition system, etc. It provides high functionality and efficiency in the application. Use of internet is increasing day by day, results in heavily used of client-server architectural styles in the web-based application. Some examples of web-based softwares are Giantic, Celox, etc. For a server-based application supporting many clients, which is going to be used by a web browser, uses client-server architecture model. It is also applicable in application area for centralized resource system, which is going to be used by many clients. Heavily used and famous example for client-server architecture application is email, World Wide Web, FTP software, etc. The complexity of such application is not as high as Blackboard based application. Hence, client-server based application keeps high functionality and efficiency. Component-based architecture should be used when there are several similar projects. Hence, module or components developed for one project can be easily utilized in other. Component-based architecture should be adopted when suitable components are available to develop a project by reusing them. Reusability is the main feature here. To create pluggable application, this architecture will be appropriate. Pipe and filter architecture style is mainly used in multitasking operating system. It is also good for compiler development. There are many applications required to process huge volume of similar data items. Example, application for billing system of telecommunication sector where ample of call records are processed to calculate the total payment. Application involving lots of information of data items and where it is easy to decompose the processing into independent discrete pieces for each filter. Pipe and filter architectural style will be good. Event-driven architectural style will be suitable for highly distributed application and application involving transmission of events among software components. Example is Java Swing API. Big data is very new concept developed because of availability of huge amount of data. Architecture of big data is used in big data based application like MongoDB, Datamail, Hadoop, Spark, Splunk, etc. Complexity of big data application is very high. Because of high complexity, it results in medium maintainability. Traditional software is not able to handle the big data. Grid computing architectural style is used in grid computing application such as SunGrid Engine, Unicode, etc. Since grid involves several computers, hence it is easy to scale up such system. It keeps minimum complexity and average functionality. Although all architectural styles presented in this pair have their own importance, but in the recent era of various large database, cloud computing, big data, and grid computing architecture works as emerging key tool for business intelligence and for efficient processing.